Hi, this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and I'm here to do a review of a TEDx talk that Scott Dinsmore gave at the TEDx GoldenGate a TEDx meeting. I'm not sure quite how to phrase it, but you get the idea. Dinsmore was, and I have to say was because he died recently while at Mount Everest, and a boulder fell, hit him. It avoided his wife, but he died. He starts off by talking about how when he went to work, the basic advice he received was terrible. Do things to build your resume. And he would say, by 10 o'clock each day, I'd want to hit my head against the desk. I was so bored. And eventually he read a quote by Warren Buffett that said, building up your resume is like saving sex for old age. It's like a waste. So he set off on a path where ultimately he's out exploring what makes sense for him and then takes it out to the world. He eventually, and excuse me, I'm going to refer to some notes because I love this talk. He asks himself the question, and he asks you to ask yourself this question. What is the work you can't not do? I want to repeat this. What is the work you can't not do? So basically, he's encouraging everyone, find work you could not do, and ask yourself why you're doing the work that you are doing, and where's the disconnect there? So he has a three-step process that he encourages people to look at, and the first one is become a self-expert on passion and purpose. What are your unique strengths? And he refers to StrengthsFinder 2.0 as being very helpful for him. From there, what are your values? What's the hierarchy for you in making a decision and doing what's important to you? And lastly, to compare it with your experiences, the things that you're good at, what goes right, what goes wrong. Look at them daily and see where there are all sorts of intersections. Over time, he says, you have a repository of information. And the alternative is living a scripted life that others have written the script for, where you're just trying to climb the ladder. And no disrespect if it's a conscious choice, but for most people, it's a habitual choice. It's a habit choice rather than something that's been made conscious. He basically talks about doing the impossible push and finding people who support you in your goals and aspirations. Because at the end of the day, without support, it's really hard. And he uses the Jim Rohn quote about being the sum of the five people you're closest with. And he suggests start with physical fitness. Pick a place that physically you can be successful with. Lose a few pounds, for example, is a clear goal. Once you see you can take control of your physical body, you can start taking control of your emotional body. And from there, he tells a wonderful story, actually several wonderful stories. One is about how he used to be afraid of getting into murky water because he had seen Jaws so many times, and he was terrified of the water. And eventually got to the point where he swam from Alcatraz, it's from Alcatraz to San Francisco. And he was a slow swimmer, but he did it. And when he got to shore, someone else came in and was exhausted, just pushed beyond their limits and collapsed when they got to shore. It was only later that he realized that this was a person who lived in a wheelchair, and their enormous excitement about having finished this race and having broken through their limits to do so was an inspiration for everyone. He spoke about how when he started his business for 4 years, the firm had zero growth. And it's only when he and his wife moved to San Francisco, and he started to hang around with different people, that he started to have some of the success. And he then spoke about having an impact on people throughout the world in his work. He had members from many countries worldwide who were inspired by what he was teaching. He said most things are out of our hands, and a few will a few changes can change your entire world. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things, but you have to figure out what's that one thing, what's that work that you can't not do. So let's see, anything else? So I'll simply say Dinsmore lived a full life in a short time. He was inspiring to many. He lived his legend. That was the nature. That was the name of the course he offers online, and I believe his wife has taken over. For you, you can figure it out for yourself, or get someone to coach you into finding that which you are inspired by, and that which you can't not do. Do you know what that is yet? I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. Reach out to me through my website, thebiggamehunter.us. I'd be happy to talk with you. You can schedule a coaching call with me as well, and we can start working together toward finding that which you have your passion about. I also want to mention, if we're not connected on LinkedIn, send a connection request at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. I'll accept a connection request if your profile doesn't look like a spammer or scammer, except if you're a third-party recruiter. I'm Jeff Altman. Have a great day. Take care.